What the fuck is up, everyone? Welcome to our first video, and today we are going to be talking to you guys about whether or not you should go to Boulder.
Well, this is more than a video. This is podcast number one.
Podcast number one.
What are we sitting on? This is the Boulder casting couch. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's not forget. We got the Colorado going on back here. Got the flag over there. You can't see it, but this is us. We're ready to go. So let's do it.
All right.
Don't worry, you do not have to take notes.
All right. Why are we here? You want to start this one out?
You go for it, bro.
All right. Well, my brother's a sophomore here, so he committed to Boulder when I was a junior in high school, so I've kind of known about it for a while, and I've just heard great things. It's beautiful here. A lot of kids from my high school go here. I'm from northern suburbs of Chicago, but there are a lot of Chicago kids out here. And yeah,
there are a crazy amount of Chicago kids out here.
We call it the 3 C's out here: Chicago, California, Colorado.
Out here, baby.
Out here.
Yeah, exactly.
The West Coast.
Exactly.
Why are you here, Sean?
Well, I'm actually from the real West Coast. I wouldn't quite call this the West Coast, but I'm from San Francisco. I got quite a different, I have no family here, and honestly, I didn't even visit the school before I chose Boulder. I was choosing between Boulder and Oregon, which every fucking kid in San Francisco, if they get the chance to, does. And I visited Oregon. It was incredible, and it was a gut decision. I just said, fuck it, I'm a mountain guy. I love the weather here. I love the energy, and I don't regret it. Also, the nuggets are pretty good, so
fuck yeah. How would you say you're happy you're here overall?
This is the best. Yeah, I couldn't have chosen a better school.
I'll definitely say that this is the best choice I could have made, and probably the best school in the U.S. All right, how hard is it to get into? Well, that depends on your major. At Boulder, there are 3 majors that are really tough to get into compared to the rest of the schools, and that is our engineering, aerospace, and business program. But overall, the average SAT is 1,185, average ACT is 27, and average GPA is a 3.66.
So you figure it out. Are you fucked or not? Are you fucked or not? Are you fucked or not? Can you come here? No, I'm kidding. But no, it does depend on the major though. I, for example, intentionally, I was originally planning on getting into the business school, but I applied under undecided because my chances were much higher getting in that way.
Yeah, I was also undecided. I suggest, unless you know for a fact what you want to do, I would go in undecided.
Why not?
School's so expensive. I think it's the average student changes their major about 3 times.
I think it's 5 times.
Maybe it's 5 now. I don't fucking know. But moral of the story is don't choose too quickly. You have some time. Yeah.
That was not at all the moral of the story, but it was a nice moral for a different story if we were to, don't choose too quickly.
Cost, if in-state, it's $1,200, out-of-state, $3,800.
Woo! You forget it's $1,200 in-state.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's real expensive if you're out-of-state, so that's just one thing to consider. Is it worth it? That could be up to you. How much student loans you're going to be taking out, but...
Well, first of all, we have to mention, we're freshmen, and also we don't totally know what the school would be like at all in a normal year. It's COVID and it's completely different.
This was a revolt.
Several cars were damaged, including one they tipped over. At least 3 Boulder police officers were injured.
Tear gas, they're threatening tear gas.
Police didn't make any arrests because it wasn't safe to do so. The crowd was just too big.
I think we gotta make sure that we're saying all this from that standpoint too, because it's really expensive, and if you think about whether it's worth it or not, the answer is going to be completely different for us than it would be for a regular school year.
Person. And per person for sure.
We're going to get into the dorm experience in a little bit here, but close to none.
Yeah.
So
It's tough. It's definitely a weird year. Campus size is 600 acres. I mean, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
have
It's
you ever
not-
met anyone
it's-
who knows anything in acres?
It's not that big of a campus. I've visited other schools. I've visited huge campuses, places like Ohio State, where, I mean, like, that shit's fucking gigantic. And then
Yeah.
here, like, I don't know, it's pretty big, but not too big. You can walk from the
I mean, our
start
apartment-
to the end of campus, I'd say about 20 minutes, 20 minutes.
Our apartment is on one end of campus, like right at the edge, and we have class, like our only in-person class, on the complete other end. About 20-25 minute walk. It's like, it's big and it's beautiful, big and it's beautiful, big and it's beautiful, but it's not crazy at all. It's not overwhelming. That's the important part, I'd say.
There's about 30,000 kids that go to school here, which
Which you wouldn't tell if you go here now.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell because of COVID, but I'd say in a normal year, 30,000, that's a lot. We have, they're a good mix of classes that are 100-person, 150-person lecture, and I'm taking 5 classes. 2 are 100-plus lecture, 3 are 20 to 30 kids.
We also just had that riot, or party that turned into a riot. I think that was around 30,000 kids, right?
Was it? I have no idea. There were a lot of fucking kids there, dude.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Diversity around campus, 67% white, 11% Latino, 5% Asian, 5% 2 or more races, and 1.5% Black or African American.
How deceiving are those numbers, though? I think Boulder is like a very white school. Like,
yeah,
let's just be
that,
honest.
I mean, 67%. Like, that's really good.
Yeah, that's...
It's a very white-dominated school. Obviously, like, Boulder's working hard to make that not as much of an issue as it is, and if you want a more diverse school, then I would say that that's something you should definitely take into account. But
yeah,
it is
what it
predominantly
is.
a white school, but
It's
I
also
know
Colorado.
Boulder's working hard to get more diversity here. Food around campus,
ass.
yeah.
Ass.
What about the Hill?
Oh, around campus.
Yeah,
well,
sorry,
on
sorry.
campus.
Food on campus, C4C, which is the dining hall, the main dining hall. I mean, granted, some places were closed this year because of COVID, but
Yeah, again, we don't know.
C4C not good, not very good.
I'll C4C you later.
Yeah.
That's what I'd have to say about that, which is what we did. But
It's fine. It just gets old real fucking quick.
Yeah.
But food around campus is really good.
really good. Boulder, I think's got.
There's food on the Hill. What the fuck is the Hill? For those of you asking, the Hill is pretty much where all the fraternities and sororities are.
And like majority of off-campus like housing and houses. A lot of people. Yeah, so that's where like all the fraternities and sororities are. But then there are also a bunch of houses and apartments and pretty much around the whole campus. But the Hill is like the main area where in a regular school year, that's where all your partying happens. That's where all your Greek life events happen. That's where your legal, if ever, ragers that take up an entire street block happen.
Yeah, and the food over there is really good. It's a great location.
Yeah, the food's crazy. It's like a mini college town right off. It is a mini college town, including housing, I guess. So,
location of the school. I mean, fuck. Like, one, according to U.S. News in 2020, Boulder was ranked the happiest city in America, and I think that's something you guys, anyone that comes here will notice really quickly, is how happy the people are. And I mean, the mountains, like the view from our apartment is absurd.
well, yeah, that's the thing about Boulder. Anywhere you are,
It's just
you can
beautiful.
see the Flatirons from, which are one of the most incredible things you could ever see. I really think Boulder's like I would say top location in the country for a college.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how close we are to these mountains.
I mean,
how-
people literally come to ski from all over the world in places in Colorado and Boulder and stuff, and like we have access to that, like to drive.
Mhm.
I mean, like I don't ski, I should ski, but I have friends.
And we
that
got these
literally-
hikes that are like
Yeah, I mean the
these
hikes
crazy
are awesome.
hikes. People come to hike here too.
But I have friends that literally like go skiing like every week.
Yeah, every weekend, different resort. Like, it's truly awesome. And then I guess with climate comes weather, and a lot of people, I don't know, you could be a fan of weather that changes on the dime or not, but it has been like 65 like for the entire week, and I think we're having the worst snowstorm since the 1800s coming this weekend. So,
Yeah, it's definitely a bipolar weather. It's kind of weird, some days it'll be like 20 and freezing and snowing, and then the next day there's sun and melts away the snow. So, I mean, I'm from Chicago, all that shit stuff about winter where it's prolonged freezing for like 30 days and there's snow on the ground that turns into slush and it gets all gross. Like, doesn't really happen here, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess you get the nice parts of snow, except for when it's taller than you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, now we're going on to social life. We're going to start with being a freshman, being in the dorms. What do you have to say about the dorms, Sean?
So they sucked too. I mean,
okay,
the dorms themselves are nice.
There's a good amount of dorms here at Boulder. It's weird. There's 2 campuses for where the students could live. There's like the main campus where everyone wants to go,
and where basically all your classes would be.
And where basically all our classes are. Yep. And then there's this like other campus that's like a mile away.
I think around like 50 acres maybe.
I don't know why the fuck it's so far. No one knows why it's so far. If you get put over there, like, that kind of sucks. The dorms are pretty nice over there. They're like...
It's called Willville.
Yeah.
Williams Village.
So they're like air conditioned, which not all the dorms are. There's only one dorm.
Well, I'd say the dorms there are definitely nicer. I
Yeah.
think they're like closer. It's almost like a massive like hotel or like apartment complex.
Yeah. It's really, they're definitely nicer. They have their own bathrooms. They're air conditioned. It's just far as fuck. There is a Boulder bus.
And if classes were in person, you'd have to bus.
That you can take, but it's just kind of annoying. Dorms on campus, most of the dorms are like fine. They don't have air conditioning except for one dorm, which kind of sucks. And the thing that's craziest about it all is you pay the same no matter what dorm you're in. So you're paying for other people's air conditioning.
You're paying for either air conditioning or not.
Yep. But, dorms are pretty much in a good location, I'd say.
Yeah, no, the dorms, I wouldn't say there are many, like, on-campus dorms that suck, because even the ones that aren't so there's, like, a main kind of center to campus, which is called Fair and Field, and that one has a group of dorms surrounding the field. I guess a lot of schools have, like, a main pasture, or a large grass field, but, if you're not there, that doesn't mean you're fucked, like, a lot of the other dorms are near this mini lake and like incredible view and these outdoor soccer fields. So, I mean, you pretty much can't go wrong. I'd say like the only reason we have anything like not great to say about the dorm experience is just because it's COVID.
Yeah,
like
all those good things that you get out of the dorm, like wraps, like classes in your literally in your dorms, which are really nice.
Yeah, walk 5 feet from your dorm room.
Some dorms have like what's it called, cafes or whatever
Right
under their dorms,
yeah.
But like most of that shit was closed this year. You couldn't hang out with anyone in your dorms. But like I'd say in a normal year, and I've talked to people about it, like the dorms really aren't that bad. I mean,
no, people have good stories, fun stories from the dorms, like any stories you'd expect to hear at any other college. Like, I mean, yeah, but people are still doing what they're doing. I mean, people are still getting fucked up in the dorms, and like, it's college, but the only problem is there are like police walking around every night, checking on kids, handing out MIPs, like fucking, they're collecting train tickets or something. I mean, it's pretty unreasonable, and I feel like there are bigger things to be focusing on in the county of Boulder other than the fucking freshmen who are not even endangering themselves that much. Like, we're staying in the dorms, come on. But, yeah, I mean, we moved out.
Yeah, we got out of the dorms, which was nice. We had the opportunity to do that.
Almost instantly.
Because of COVID, and the apartment we're living in now is really nice, as you guys can kind of see, and it's cheaper than the dorms. So that's
cheaper than the dorms.
That's
I mean, what are you paying for the dorms? Like $1,400, right?
Yeah, $1,400.
Just for the dorms.
So room and board freshman year is going to be $1,400. That's the dorms plus food, which is a lot.
Is it plus food? Because I know you pay for like a plan.
I think it included my meal plan, which is like the normal meal plan.
Okay.
Next thing we're going to go to is partying in Greek life. Is Boulder a party school? how many students are in Greek life, all that.
My opinion on that, honestly.
Well, I want to first start off and say only 13% is Greek here. So while if you came to school here, it'd feel like it's very Greek dominated because
it's an interesting dynamic.
The only place, since Boulder doesn't really have bars, there's no bar scene here unless you're in a fraternity. There really isn't like a place you can go to get fucked up. So like, if you're gonna party, like most likely you're in a fraternity.
I mean, there's some pretty nice apartment parties that happen, or like apartment complexes that
floor crashing into each other and into the basement below. Laura McQuillan has the.
You could see that happening, but yeah, although it is only 13%, like people got to realize that that's like 90% of who's partying, or like, well, that's a lot, like 75. I know a decent amount. I know a lot of kids who are not in Greek life still have like a great access to that. Again, let's be honest, it depends.
But
if you're a girl.
yeah, but it's also like if you're going to college and you really want that like that party experience. I mean, that's a frat party experience, you know, like those big like 300-person parties. Like, granted, they're not happening really this year with COVID. Like, that's Greek life. You know, you're not going to catch a 300-person party in an apartment.
Yeah, you're not. But here's my thing, like, about party schools in general. Would I call Boulder a party school? I mean, yeah, it has to be after what just happened.
It's definitely a party school, but it's different, you know? Like, if you think party school, for me, like, I'm from the Midwest where most people go to Big Ten schools, and, like, just talking to my friends there, like, a party here
you're gonna
is not the same, though. And, like, it's just it's much more of a drinking culture out there, where here it's much more of a weed culture. You know, people are more, like, laid back. They do other drugs that aren't just weed and alcohol here. And
I mean, they do that at every school.
They do that at every school, but like more so here.
But I think the difference between like the amount of partying at schools is really like most relative to size. Because yeah, you go to a bigger school, there's just going to be bigger parties and more parties. But like Boulder's considered a big school.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a big school, and you're going to find the same amount of partying here.
You're never going to come to Boulder and
other school.
Someone's going to tell you it's not a party school.
No,
I mean,
no.
There are some fucking parties here, and there's some fucking lit parties here.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them. I mean, I've seen both parties and lit ones.
Yeah, me too. Sports, or do you have anything else to add on to?
Oh, I wish sports were happening. I mean, sports are happening.
Sports are
you got
happening.
Basketball going on.
Boulder is not as much of like a tailgatey like.
Well, we don't know.
I mean I don't, we don't know totally, but I know compared to like some other like
it's probably not as much in the culture here.
Yeah, but people still go. I mean, people love to tailgate. Everyone goes to the basketball games. Everyone goes to the football games. Like, they're fun. Yeah. I mean, Boulder's not the best at sports, but they're a fun team to cheer for. I mean, Folsom Field, our football field, like literally faces onto the mountains, which is
it's crazy.
It's like one of the craziest. Like,
if you don't want to come to Boulder, at least visit, because yeah, that's honestly the best part. Is just the absolute feeling you get here just walking around.
Yeah, it's great.
But I'm wishing there was intramural sports. Again, that's a COVID thing, but like those are definitely offered and like a big part of life here. I mean, I think they also have a fraternity league.
Yeah,
for
they do.
Different sports, like football, basketball, soccer.
Let's talk about the rec for a second. I mean, this year with restrictions, it's tough, but the rec is one of the craziest recs you'll see in any like college ever.
Yeah, easily.
I'm big into working out. I'm a competitive bodybuilder. The gym equipment here is fucking great. Like, you don't need to go to a different gym. The basketball court literally faces onto the mountains. Like, I mean,
I'm a vertically challenged basketball player, so that was a big thing for me. And you know, it sucks though. They put carpet over the entire gym floor and threw treadmills on there. So,
but just because of COVID, that's not how it's normally going to be.
Yeah. No, not at all. But crazy rec center. They got pool. They got laps. They got every type of gym equipment you could imagine. But
they got a rock climbing wall. I mean,
they got a rock climbing wall. Yeah, like rock climbing's big here. A lot of people climb, which is sick.
Yeah, Boulder definitely. If you come here, you get a lot more experiences that you don't really get around at other schools in the country.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that we were going to do is we're going to build a few boulders. Just your stereotypical Boulder students that you might see here. So starting off, number one is our frat boy.
Is this more of a roast, or is this kind of like...
It's either way, however you want to perceive it. But we have our frat boy. Our frat boy has a beanie on. He's a dude.
No, that's your skater boy outside Baker Hall.
That's a different person.
A shirt big enough to parachute out of an airplane. A beanie tight enough...
Most likely stoned.
Most likely stoned. A beanie tight enough to protect you from any collision to the head.
And...
What else?
Attempting to do some cool tricks on the skateboard. Then you
and they do. It's sick. I didn't realize how many skaters were in Boulder.
You got your
I'm
frat
from the Bay,
guy.
so.
He's wearing a beanie as well because everyone in Boulder
wears a beanie. Or a hat.
Depending on the time of the day, if it's before 3 o'clock, he's high. If it's after 3 o'clock, he's probably drunk. And he's most likely a business.
And if it's after
major.
7 o'clock, he's asking a pledge to go get him bobas.
Yep.
Yeah.
And probably ripping his Nick device.
Who else do we got? Talk about that though, in relationships in college, because
relationships in college we'll have to do another podcast.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I think that's about it. We're missing any points?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's about it. But yeah. I mean,
thank you all for tuning in. Feel free.
I do want to say, just today was just kind of like, we want to have guests on here, some really cool kids. We know some awesome kids who are interested in like hopping on here and talking about what they're into. This is gonna go like everywhere. This is gonna bounce from sports to lifting to school to girls to movies, TV shows, Marvel,
just everything you guys want to know. How to stay productive in college, how to get good grades in college,
psychedelics, mindfulness, mental health,
how to all that shit, all the stuff that we people want to talk about, but we don't really have a voice for that. We're giving them.
Yeah, we just want a platform to be creative, honestly. Exactly. Like, I think me and Caleb here are living a pretty unique college experience. I mean, everyone is. It's COVID, but we moved into an apartment like a few weeks into the first semester. We started our own fraternity, which is something we're definitely gonna have our own podcast on, or helped. I don't want to say started our own fraternity. Helped. We're founding fathers of Kappa Alpha at CU Boulder, and. We have a lot of other fun projects on the side other than this, but this is one of them. We just want to make shit happen. Like, college is the time to do that. So, yeah, that's what we're about.
Fuck yeah. Thank you all for listening today.
The Boulder Casting Couch, ladies and gentlemen.
And we hope to see you here shortly.
And everyone else.
Thank you.